Hello, algebra people. I'm excited for today. Hey, great news. We do not have any graphing today at all. So that's great news. If you see graphing on your assignment today, we're not doing those ones. We're completely ignoring them. We're just saying no. So no graphing today. That's great news. Today, we're doing something that you will never use in life, just in math. But it's important to know because you might need to use it later. So we're going to do it, and I know you're excited. So we're going to do 12.3, page 784. Okay, I'm ready. Are you? Dividing polynomials sounds awesome. It is. You'll feel super smart at the end of today. Trust me. Okay, so example number 1, we're going to divide. Our first one is 4x to the third. It stays like this where I have lots of numbers to write down on the board that I really wish that somebody was telling them to me like you guys usually do. Okay, divided by 2x. I think. Okay, so when you have one term only that you're dividing by, the easiest thing to do is just to divide every term in my polynomial by this one, okay? Because there's only one term, so what we're going to do is we're going to divide every part of my polynomial by that term, okay? So let's individually take care of each one of those. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 3 minus 1 is 2, I think, right? Remember, it's been a long time, but remember we subtract the exponents, okay? All right, and then plus 8 divided by 2 is 4. 2 minus 1 is 1. Plus 10 divided by 2 is 5. X over x, they go away. It's just the number 5. And we're done. We have divided that polynomial by 2x. Taken care of. Not bad, right? So if there's just one term, we just take every part of our polynomial and divide that. Remember, subtract the exponents. Okay, let's move on. Example number, I know they give you another way to do it there, but we're ignoring that. Okay, just ignore that. I think that's the easiest way to do it is the way I just showed you. Ignore that other method too. We're not going to be doing that. Okay, let's look at example number 2. Now things get a little bit more sketchy. X squared plus 2x minus 3, and it's being divided by, what's different about this one than the one before? This one has 2 terms that we're dividing by, right? So we have to do it using long division. I know it's really exciting. I feel like when you're in my sister's class, there was some sort of man, something. I don't even know what the man means. Every time I see it drawn on a board, it boggles my mind what the stick man has to do with long division. But apparently it really helps. Unfortunately for you, it doesn't help in this situation. It's okay though, because I don't even know what it means. So we're gonna do long division. Okay, so the reason we have to do long division is because this has more than one term. When it has more than one term, we have to do long division. Don't be scared, I'll help you. That goes on the outside. The polynomial that came first goes on the inside. See, so far not bad, right? So this divided by this. Okay, now, the way you do long division of polynomials is you figure out how this term can be changed into this term. How can I make an x into an x squared? What would I have to multiply it by? I'd have to multiply it by an x, right? To make an x into an x squared, I have to multiply it by an x. Because I have 2 terms here, I put my x over this second term to have it line up correctly, okay? So now what we're gonna do is so let me step back because I know this could be super confusing. How do I make this into this? I need to multiply another x to be able to make it an x squared. So whatever I took to multiply, I put that there, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and do long division like usual, okay? So x times x is x squared. X times -1 is negative x, right? So what you do after you get that first term, you multiply it by this and put that here. And then remember, when we do long division, it's a subtraction problem, right? This is where a lot of people go wrong. X squared minus x squared should be 0. If I'm doing it correctly, that should have disappeared. So far, so good. This is where people go wrong. A negative and a negative is a positive. So a 2x plus x would be a 3x, right? Make sure to subtract whatever this is. It's really important, otherwise you'll get really messed up from here on out. Okay, just like long division, we drop our negative 3. Okay, now again, how can I make this term, this x, this leading term here, into this one? What would I multiply by this x to make it into this? A 3, right? So we're going to multiply a positive 3. Okay, now we do our multiplication. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Remember, we're subtracting. So 3x minus 3x is nothing. Negative 3 minus a negative is a plus, right? So negative 3, that's a nothing. 0 plus 0, 0, perfect. We did it exactly correctly. There's nothing left. So our answer is this. What that means is, if I took this and this, which is what I was dividing it by, and I FOILed them, I'd get this. Okay, so that's long division. Let's do another one. I know it's super confusing. Let's do it again. All right. Okay, let's do, boy, I really didn't want to do one with a remainder quite yet, but I guess we get to. That's okay. We still do it the same way. So, okay, so example number 3 on page 285. Remember, the long polynomial goes in the box. So that's a 2x squared plus 11x minus 9. And it's divided by 2x minus 3. Okay? All right. I don't know if you remember from the one we just did, but our job is to make this look like this. What do I need to multiply to this to make it look like this? I need to add, or multiply. I need to multiply by an x, correct? To be able to get a 2x to a 2x squared. So I need to multiply by an x. Remember, because there's 2 terms here, I line it up with the second one here. Okay, so now we multiply. X times 2x is 2x squared. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. Remember, we're subtracting that. So does this disappear? Perfect. We did that part right. So I'm on the right track. Negative negative is a positive. What's 11 plus 3? 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, because remember, it's a minus a negative, so we got to add that. We drop our negative 9, just like normal. Now, how do I make a 2x into a 14x? What do I need to multiply to do that? I need to multiply it by a 7, I think. No x's, because I have 1 and I have 1, so I don't need it anymore. But 2 times 7 gives me 14. Okay, so now we multiply. 2x times 7 is 14x. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. Okay? Seems like it's weird, but it's okay. Don't be scared. I'll show you what to do. We're subtracting it. Did that go away? 0? Perfect. We did it right if that went away. Negative 9 plus 21 is positive 12, right? Normally this disappears, and the one we just did, right? It disappeared. This time we have a remainder. Remember remainders from when you were younger? Okay, this is our remainder. Okay, because there's nothing left to drop down here, I'm done. So how you deal with remainders is this. Your answer is going to be this up here, right? That's what I said before. But if you have a remainder, you say plus my remainder over this original part. That's how you write your remainder in long division of polynomials. Kind of weird, I know, but so if you have a remainder when you're done, you just put your remainder over your binomial that you started with here. Okay? All right, let's look at, I only have a few more minutes. Let's look at example number 4. Notice on example number 4, the 5y plus y squared plus 4 is divided by 2 plus y. Before you can do your long division, you need to rearrange it so that instead of a 2 plus y, it's a y plus 2. That letter, it has to be in, remember how we learned that polynomials have to be in descending order? They need to be in descending order before you can divide. So go ahead and make sure to switch that around before you divide. Make sure everything is in the correct order, okay? We're going to move on to example number 5, and I'll go ahead and write that one on the board. Example number 5 says 13 plus 4m squared is getting divided by -1 plus 2m. Oh my, there's all kinds of wrong with this problem. First of all, this isn't in the right order, nor does it have 3 terms, right? Okay, so let's take care of this section of our problem first, okay? So it doesn't have 3 terms and it's in the wrong order. Let's take care of the order situation first. What should come first? The m squared. Then we'd have the 13, right? What's missing in the middle? Normally a polynomial has something squared plus something, the letter, something with a letter, and then plus a regular number, right? So as you can see on example 5, if we don't have that missing one, like usually it would be 4m squared plus 2m plus 13 or something like that, but we're missing this term, correct? If we don't have a term that we need, we just put a 0 in there, to like a space filler. Okay, so I just put a 0. All right, now I'm going to divide it by, is this in the correct order? I need to put my letters before my numbers, right? So we're going to go ahead and rearrange that and put my 2m first and then my -1. All right, now I have 3 terms and this is in the correct order, so now I can start. Okay, 2m minus 1 is on the outside, 4m squared plus 0m plus 13 is on the inside. Okay, step 1. How do I make this into this? Well, how do I make a 2 into a 4? I multiply it by 2. How do I make an m into an m squared? I multiply it by m. Okay, so that's the term I put there. So 2 times 2 is 4. M squared. -1 times 2m is -2m, correct? Okay, remember, super important, we're subtracting this, okay? So 4m squared minus 4m is squared is 0. Yay, we did that right. What's 0 plus 2m? It's just a positive 2m, correct? A 0 plus, remember, because it's a minus and negative. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and drop our 13. Okay, so I have 2m plus 13. Let's try that one. I need to make my 2m into a 2m. Oh, wait a second. I need to make my 2m into a 2m, but it already is a 2m. Great, it's already exactly what it needs to be. All I have to do is multiply it by 1. Perfect. So 2m times 1 is 2m. -1 times 1 is -1, right? Okay, we're subtracting. 2m minus 2m disappeared. Perfect, that's what it's supposed to do. 13 plus 1 is how many? 14. Nothing to drop down, so this is my remainder. So if you remember from before, how do I write my remainder? I say my answer that I got right here. Okay, and my remainder is a positive 14, and I put it over this binomial right here. And that's how I write my remainder. Some of your problems today, you won't have a remainder, and some of them you will. Remember, if you have a remainder, just write your remainder over this right here. Okay? We are not going to do number 16, example 6, because we're not doing any graphing today. So we can be done. All you're doing today is 3 through 18. That's it. Call me if you get stuck. This is super confusing. I can FaceTime you. We can go over it over and over again. I have no time left, so I have to go. Goodbye.